Hi, everybody. Morning. Good morning. Good morning from LA. How are you guys doing? I'm here with Siobhan. We will talk about hyperpigmentation today. We will do a really nice skincare routine to show what products and what ingredients work the best to tackle hyperpigmentation. And I want to tell you first a little bit about my background and the whole idea of what melanin production is and what it does and what ingredients work, and give you like a little overview, because I find it's always like good to know some basic facts about it. So I'm a medical doctor. I studied medicine and sports. I started out as an orthopedic doctor and helped pioneering a treatment together with orthopedic doctors and scientists from all over the world, where you basically take the body own proteins, you take the patient's blood, you process the blood in a certain way, and you create anti-inflammatory proteins and re-inject those proteins into the joints to stop or slow down the aging process of the joints and take down inflammation and help the osteoarthritis of a patient, which led me to translate this whole knowledge into the skin. And in 2002, I created something you all know as blood facial, or some people might call it vampire facial, PRP. So this is what I created. Then I created a cream to help my own skin, because I couldn't find anything on the market which would hydrate my skin. I always had dry skin. I always had blackheads. I had to go and see a facialist every 3 weeks. So I created a cream also using my blood, my body own proteins. And this healed my skin. I found this really great hydration mixture. I did this with my pharmacist in Düsseldorf. And this cream went viral between my patients. So everybody got on it. All my orthopedic patients all of a sudden were using my cream. And they, of course, were not just with one cream. They wanted to have like a whole skincare routine, and I wanted to give it to them because I couldn't find anything on the market. So I started with a few products, just a few: cleanser, scrub, hyaluronic serum, face creams. And those products were so, I designed those products around anti-inflammation, because as you just learned, inflammation has to do with aging. So anti-inflammation is really the key. We need to really work on our anti-inflammatory lifestyle. It's not just a product. Of course, we can cause inflammation if we use harsh ingredients on our skin, like certain irritants like fragrances, acid peels, alcohol. We can damage our skin and cause inflammation on our skin, but we can cause inflammation also through our lifestyle, getting too little sleep, having too much stress. Our diet has a big role. Of course, outside stresses like sun, pollution, HUV light coming from the phones, this all causes inflammation. You will see that inflammation also has a play and a role in our hyperpigmentation. So this skincare line is designed around hydration, anti-inflammation, nutrition, and telomerase activation. So it's highly anti-aging, because the most robust theory on aging is the cell divisions. And cell divisions, humans have between 40 and 60. Turtles, for example, have 110. So turtles get to live for 200 years. So we need to really make sure that our cells go through the entire 40 to 60 cell divisions. And there's an enzyme called telomerase. And I found this herb called purslane, which is a telomerase activator. So in all our products, there is a telomerase activator. And telomerase basically makes those cells prevent from undergoing the natural programmed cell death too early. So we keep those caps, those telomeres, the ends of those chromosomes, which shortens each cell divisions. We keep those telomeres from shortening, or slow down the shortening process, which helps extremely in the anti-aging factor. Because there's a scientist from Harvard which did a study on mice. They studied on mice, they tested telomerase, and they said it's the fountain of youth enzyme because it's not only stopping the aging process, but also reversing it. So that's all those, you know, characteristics of my skincare line. But then, of course, I became very much addicted to creating products. And now I have this huge line, not just like a small line, because I also learned that it helped me tremendously in my skin. And then, you know, everybody in the world was sending me notes and thanking me for those products, that it helps like not just me, but everybody. So every age group, every gender, every skin color. So it was really fascinating for me that I found that my characteristics of these skincare, you know, tasks really apply to everybody in this world. That's why I studied more and I created more products. And all these products, you don't need to have this entire line. Obviously, you just need the products which are really customized for your skin needs. But I created, for example, a clarifying line for everyone who has acne and breakout problems and still wants to do anti-aging. I created a line for darker skin tone, which is extra anti-inflammatory, it's antibacterial, it's good for evening out the skin tone. I created a brightening line, which helps to address the appearance of yellow and dark spots. I created a line for kids. I created a line for what else? Men. So it's like I have a product for everyone. So everybody who has skin, I want to present a skincare solution. That's why I have so many products. I don't think everybody should have all the products. I think it's really good to have the products which help your symptoms, your skin needs, your whatever you want to achieve with your skin. And today we want to talk a little bit about hyperpigmentation. What is hyperpigmentation? That's when the skin produces more melanin, and melanin is in our skin and it protects the skin from the UVA, UVB rays, and it absorbs the light and basically prevents the UVA rays from penetrating into deeper skin layers. And if we overproduce melanin, caused, for example, by sun damage or inflammation, then we have the appearance of hyperpigmentation. And there's an enzyme called tyrosine. How do you say it in English? In Latin, it's tyrosinase. And tyrosinase basically catalyzes the melanin formation. So the scientists don't really know how it exactly works. They only know that tyrosinase is really, it depends on this enzyme that basically the hyperpigmentation appear. And there's an ingredient called glutathione, which is amazing. And this glutathione actually downregulates this enzyme tyrosinase. So glutathione is a great ingredient in your supplements, in your skincare for sure. So melanin has two forms: the phenmelanin, which is more a yellowish melanin and has a yellowish color, and there's eumelanin, which has a darker color. And so if UV rays go into our skin, it creates an oxidative stress and free radicals, and this causes premature aging, but it also stimulates the melanin production. So not only makes it, causes us to age, but also melanin goes high, and then it causes hyperpigmentation. And so the sun is really, really involved in our hyperpigmentation. Everybody knows that that's not news to us. There are three forms of hyperpigmentation. There are age spots. There's something called melasma, which has a lot to do with hormones. And there is something called post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which appears after you cut or burn or you have acne scars. And that's something the appearance of hyperpigmentation is genetically predisposed, so it also has to do with your skin color. It affects every skin color, but darker skin tones have a higher melanin production, and hyperpigmentation can be more severe. So prevention, how can we prevent? Prevention is always good. Mostly it's lots of us, there it's already too late because we've been in the sun and we did our damages. So staying out of the sun is pretty good advice. Using lots of sunscreen, pretty good advice. And don't pick your skin or cut your skin or do all those really big stresses to our skin, because this is what really causes hyperpigmentation. And I have hyperpigmentation here, and I know exactly where it comes from, because you know, this is exactly one of the injection spots where I inject myself with Botox, and I was just not careful enough after both Botox injections. And I think that's something we should keep in mind. Whatever we do to our skin, you know, if it's laser, microneedling, microdermabrasion, everything, which is like a treatment, if we're not careful and go in the sun after, because these are all micro injuries in our skin, this can cause hyperpigmentation. Or if you pick a pimple, you pop a pimple, you don't put sunscreen on, and you go outside, bam, hyperpigmentation. And it's better, it's much easier to prevent from hyperpigmentation than getting rid of it. And there are very common treatments out there, like laser, retinoid, vitamin C, acid peels. There's a lot of these treatments out there, and you know, it's always comparable with a quick fix. Quick fixes means that, you know, you put something on your skin and the next day you wake up and it's all good. So that's very unrealistic. Number one, if it does something like this, you basically take off healthy skin layers, which is not what we want, because the skin is a total protection device, and the skin has a certain structure. The skin has a skin barrier, which contains out of dead skin cells, sebum and sweat, and a microbiome. Microbiome is a combination out of parasites, fungus, and bacteria, and this needs to be just the way it is. If we damage this, things can go into our skin like crazy, irritants, allergens, pollutants, whatever, and water can get out of our skin. We don't want that, because we want our skin to be as healthy and protective and young as possible. And to keep our skin young, we also need to have it in the perfect shape. And it starts with our skin cells created on the bottom, which wanted to the, you know, go to the top layer, and then they become dead skin cells, and they get flaked off. So it's a cycle which renews to every 28 days. And that's why, you know, if you want to try out an ingredient where you think you can make your skin better, or you want to do a new skincare routine, you should wait 28 days to see an effect. If it's like this quick fix, you basically damage your skin. You might get away with, you know, it might be helping in the first place, but then by damaging your skin, you let all these stressors easily come into your skin way harder. So imagine you go in the sun and you have done all these treatments, and your skin is not protected. You don't have your skin layers, you don't have your skin bacteria, the skin barrier. Those stressors like sun, AGV, like pollution, really bombard our skin. And what does it cause? Hyperpigmentation. It causes a premature aging. So we're talking about getting rid of something we can basically also causing by doing something. So what do we need to do? We need to think of something which is not this aggressive and actually strengthens our skin barrier instead of damaging it. And the nature has some really good ingredients for this. There are lots of studies meanwhile out there which also demonstrate that those ingredients also work. There's one really good ingredient you can find in your yard, possibly, or in the supermarket, is aloe vera. Aloe vera is studies shown that it really helps with pigmentation, but there are more ingredients from the nature. So let's try to find something which is not that aggressive. Of course, you have to have some patience, and I tell you a story from my friend. She is a mom of 5, blue eyes, blonde, lives in Miami. She had twins 2 years ago, and she called me after her birth, and she said, oh my God, my face is full of melasma, and I don't know what to do. I'm thinking of doing laser. I say, wait, go on the darker skin tone line and try that. And 5 weeks later, she called me and she said, it's all gone. It's really helping. That's the only line she's using now, really religiously using. And I'm not saying, you know, the line made it go away. Melasma coming from hormones can also go away by itself. You know, it's not necessarily you know, it's better to help it with ingredients, but it also can disappear by itself. So I'm not saying, oh, that's no worry, I don't want to do false promises, but it really helped her tremendously. I have a lot of patients who are super happy with this line. And I want to talk a little bit about this line because I created it together with Angela Bassett, actually. And Angela was trying my normal skincare line, and she was like, oh my God, that's the best my skin ever looked. And we were talking a lot, and she said, you know, there's nothing out there which really targets darker skin tones. And so I did a lot of research about darker skin tones. And you know, if you have more melanin in your skin is prone to more inflammation. People don't really know why, but it's just what it is. And there are lots of studies which show melanin causes inflammation, not just, you know, inflammation right there. It's like a really it's everywhere. And if you have breakouts, the breakouts have inflammation right there, but with more melanin, the inflammation is everywhere. So the reason why darker skin tone skin is visiting going to see a dermatologist, it's not, it's the most, the number one is acne, and number two is post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So as soon as the skin has more melanin, that's the two biggest reasons to go to a dermatologist. So this line for darker skin tone basically targets antibacterial, being extra anti-inflammatory, and evening out the skin tone. And so there are ingredients like, you know, honocule, which is a polyphenol, which is extremely antioxidative. And antioxidant is really important because, you know, the oxidative stress coming from UV rays really push the melanin formation, hyperpigmentation. So it's really important to be antioxidant, especially with the hyperpigmentation. So it's anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, and antimicrobial. So also bacteria in our skin need to be addressed. Also, for example, vitamin C is amazing because it also tackles free radicals. So this line is designed around these three things: antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and for evening out the skin tone. And I created another line which is called Brightening line, and the Brightening line actually addresses the loosening, or it tackles the agglomeration of the yellow and dark spots. So we try to get rid of those you know, agglomerations. And this combination, these two lines combined, the darker skin tone line and the brightening line, are really the ones I recommend using for hyperpigmentation. And for example, we also have an supplement called Brightening Food, and this Brightening Food has olive leaf extract, and this olive leaf extract has something called hydroxytyrosol, and this is something which eliminates the stimulus of the free radicals and downregulates the pigmentation. And it's a really amazing ingredient, this hydroxytyrosol, because it also increases this, the production of glutathione, and glutathione, as we just learned, inhibits this enzyme tyrosinase, which then inhibits also the pigment synthesis. So this enzyme we need to block, and glutathione is something which can block it. And vitamin C also produces a lot of glutathione as well. So it's a lot of ingredient science in this line. I really want to go through the hyperpigmentation routine. Some of you might have already the products. Maybe we can tune in the same time somebody, how do you say that? Someone? Anybody?
Yeah,
My German. You know, I'm switching now between German and English. My English gets bad, my German gets bad, so I'm really sorry for that. There was one question actually I already saw. It was about microneedling and microdermabrasion. If this helps hyperpigmentation. And I have to say, I have some patients who came in for microneedling microneedling the blood, blood facial. And they a Brazilian model, a Brazilian guy, and they're both really, for both it was really amazing, and it helped them. And one of my friends got totally rid with the microneedling of their hyperpigmentation. He's using the darker skin tone line. But you know, with the microneedling, it's not proven that it helps. Also with the microdermabrasion. And we have to be so careful. As I just said, you know, it's a lifestyle. If you have hyperpigmentation, it's really the question: do you want to be in the sun? Do you want to live in the sun? Do you want to hide from the sun? If you do all those treatments, you practically have to hide from the sun. You have to hide from your phones. You have to put screens on it, like sunscreen, HEV screen, like our anti-pollution drops. Or if you know, mostly these hyperpigmentations are harmless. They don't do anything to you. But if it really bothers you, the question is, do you want to go hard after them with those aggressive treatments and run the risk of causing more damage through sun? Or do you want to do something which is basically loving your skin, you know, the combination of the DST line and the brightening line, which is together helping the hyperpigmentation, but also it makes your skin definitely more sun sensitive. So when you use these lines, you always have to use also the sunscreen, you know, although everything comes from the nature, and we use like ingredients like watercress, garden grass, olive leaf extract, lumicol, which comes from algae. So it's really a lifestyle choice, you know. And I would propose to go on this routine. We put it together in a bundle on our website as well, because I feel like now, being at home, we all want to do something to our skin and want to help to, you know, make our skin better. And that's why sometimes it's really hard to do the research yourself. So I put together these bundles, and one bundle is the Hyperpigmentation Melasma bundle. And let's go through this routine. We start with the cleanser for darker skin tones. So the cleanser for darker skin tones, as I just said, it has also salicylic acid in it, which helps with a too much cornification. So to help to get keratinocytes, the dead skin cells, off. It's a really great product and very mild, very hydrating. It helps to even out the skin tone. So if you have hyperpigmentation issues, that's the cleanser I would recommend. Also, it's actually really good if you have breakouts. You know, if you have acne, the darker skin tone line is amazing for acne prone skin. So the darker skin tone cleanser first step. I actually put a little bit of makeup on this morning as well, just because, to show how good this is to remove makeup. Good. So FYI, so we did that too. So twice a week, I want to recommend using the Enzyme cleanser. Enzyme cleanser is a powder, and we also created an enzyme cleanser for darker skin tones. So, by the way, just because it says darker skin tones, it doesn't mean you need to have, you know, more melanocytes, more melanin in your skin. I use the darker skin tone line. Everybody uses the darker skin tone line because it's just more active and evens out the skin tone. And who doesn't have problems with hyperpigmentation? I mean, when I was younger, we were in the sun, you know, there was like cool to tan, and we all did our damages in the sun in early years. I know the new generation is smarter, and so it's really good to stay out of the sun. We need a little sun for vitamin D production. So vitamin D deficiency is not good, because we need it for our bones and also for our immune system. So enzyme cleanser twice a week. It takes off dead skin cells, which is also important, also for evening out the skin tone, but also dead skin cells is important to not cause whiteheads, blackheads, pimples, because this can be caused by dead skin cells which oxidate with sebum. So it's really good to reduce sebum production, which also is been done with the enzyme cleanser and the darker skin tone ingredients. So
You can also feel it really thoroughly cleansing.
Yes. Lots of people get pigmentation when they had acne and they pick their acne spots and comedones gotten deeper, you know, and when they get too deep and they mostly create hyperpigmentation. I get asked this a lot. So enzyme cleanser, if the acne scarring is red, I also recommend the calming serum for red acne scars. But you know, for like hyperpigmentation, we put together the cleanser, enzyme cleanser. Next step is our hydration tool, darker skin tone hyaluronic serum.
Did you want to dial anyone?
Yes, let's have a better conversation. Okay, let's do that. Tessa, let's have a conversation with everybody.
Yeah.
You know, for me it's so hard to do this all by myself as a monologue. I find it much better when we can have a conversation. How do you do this, Victoria? Can you help? Please.
I think Michael's gonna. Yeah.
Please.
It's all done.
Oh, okay, so I don't need to do anything.
You just sit back and relax.
Okay, so that's Victoria.
I just skidded.
Victoria, we're all quarantining together. I'm so glad I have Victoria and Siobhan here, and Charlie, my 24-year-old, and Pepper, my 5-year-old. And Pepper, I tell you, Pepper is the champ. When she goes outside, she has her sun drops in her hands. She knows exactly what to do to protect her skin. She is absolute champ. Her skin is flawless. I'm really happy that she learned from small on how to protect her skin. I tell you, if she sits in front of the iPad, she puts the anti-pollution drops on.
So Tessa is there.
Tessa, I don't see. Oh, hi, Tessa.
Can I ask you, how do you feel about, I think after I've been watching a lot of your stuff, your Instagram stories, so I use the Dermaflash, I'm microneedling at home. So do you think I have a lot of redness. So do you think I need to stop doing all these things?
Yes, please. So especially redness is a sign of inflammation, and those machines cause inflammation, definitely. Micro injuries, you know, and I heard from this Dermaflash, a lot of people, they work like this. Someone sent it to me. I don't even know who sent this to me, but I had it here and I was asking one of my estheticians, and she said, yeah, I used it and my skin didn't tolerate it. So these machines can really cause inflammation, and this inflammation can cause post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. So hyperpigmentation can always come from inflammation, and that's why I would really try to calm your skin. For redness, what I always recommend is the calming serum. It's so nice. You know, I have so many patients who tell me, you know, when they're in the sun and somebody gets a sunburn, you know, they use the calming serum, or after treatments, after laser treatments, after any type of microneedling, dermabrasion, everywhere where you react with redness, you just put it on. I love to put it on just because it's just so nice.
And it's amazing. And you even put it on like wounds sometimes, right? When you burn yourself.
Yeah. Wounds. Yeah, I keep showing this. It's getting really good. I should take pictures. I was cooking and I burned myself, and it was really bad, and I put calming serum on it. And also after waxing, whenever is needed, so the calming serum. Do you have hyperpigmentation issues?
I feel like I do, but in the past, like when I've gone for facials, they're like, oh, you don't really have a problem with hyperpigmentation. But in my head, I feel like I do. You know? So I don't know if I actually do, or you know what I'm saying. But
I can't really see a clear picture, so I really don't see it. But you know, the trick to healthy and good skin is keeping your skin barrier function strong and healthy, your microbiome. So don't attack your skin with harsh ingredients. Stay really hydrated. Add the nutrients your skin needs. If you want to do anti-aging, do anti-inflammation, do telomerase activation. You know, that's really the good stuff for anti-aging.
okay. Thank you
Cool.
so much.
So nice to see you. Thank you for being part of this masterclass this morning.
Yes, thank you very much.
Bye.
Happy Easter.
Yes, you too.
Bye. Bye.
Okay, so
Hyaluronic serum. Hyaluronic Serum for darker skin tone is amazing. So everyone who has problems with breakouts, acne, hyperpigmentation, you guys go for the darker skin tone line. It's really helpful, because also the darker skin tone line has ingredients to address the Propionibacterium acnes, which is a bacterium which enters the skin and causes acne. It's normally on our skin and our microbiome, but sometimes it enters it, and then it really, causes a lot of problem in acne acne breakouts and scarring. And also there's an ingredient, Enantia chlorantia, and this really refines pore sizes, but also brings down alpha 5 alpha reductase, which modulates the sebum production and brings down the sebum production. So it creates 5 alpha reductase. Jesus, today it's like hard to pronounce all my ingredients. So
we can dial in Natalia.
yes, Natalia. And your next serum is the Brightening Serum. The Brightening Serum is from the Brightening line. It has ingredients to help loosen the agglomeration of yellow and dark spots. It's a lipid serum, so you use this after your hyaluronic serum. Siobhan, thank you for doing the facial today. Your skin looks gorgeous. Really beautiful.
My Saturday afternoon.
Thank you guys. Enjoy your weekend. Happy Easter.
Bye.
Bye.